Alright, on this slide I'm going to talk about how to make a frequency contingency table. Remember, frequency just means a count or the number in each category. And remember, contingency table is for when there's more than one variable. So at least it has to at least be two variables, and we're just going to talk about the case where there's two variables. Here's our data. We have two variables. One is called cat and the other is called dog. And here's the bare bones of our contingency table. On this side, the rows, they represent the dog variable, and the columns here represent the cat variable. So you can own a dog or not own a dog. Okay? So first we're going to find the people that do not own a dog and do not own a cat. So they have both no's. So it'd be this person has both no's and this person has both no's. So we're going to have a 2 here. So do not own a dog and do not own a cat. Okay, and then we're going to go to where it says do not own a dog, and then you're going to go over to where it says owns a cat. So we're looking for people who do not own a dog, but they own a cat. So they're going to have a yes for cat and a no for dog. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Alright, now we're going to look for owns a dog, does not own a cat. So it's going to be a no and then a yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the last one is both yeses. They own a dog and a cat. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. And then we want to get the totals. So let's do the dog totals first. So how many people do not own a dog? Well, you can add the 2 plus the 3 to get 5. So 5 people own a dog, or do not own a dog, I mean. And then the people who owns a dog would be 4 plus 5, so that's 9. And then let's do the cat variable. So how many people do not own a cat? That would be 2 plus 4, which is 6. And how many people own a cat? That would be 3 plus 5, so that's 8. Alright, so then we're going to add the totals to make sure they both add up right. So 5 plus 9 is 14. And then 6 plus 8 is also 14. So it all adds up right. So the total number of people in our study was 14. So that's that total. So now I'm going to talk about how to make a proportion contingency table. It's very similar to the frequency table, but remember, a proportion is a relative frequency. That is the number in that category divided by the total frequency or the sample size, which is the number of people in your study. So here's the data again, and here's our contingency table. Remember, there was 2 people who do not own a dog and do not own a cat. So we do 2 divided by 14, which is the total, and then you get 0.14. 3 people do not own a dog, but they own a cat. So that's 3 out of 14, and you divide that as 0.21. 4 people own a dog, but don't have a cat, so that's 4 out of 14, and that's 0.29. 5 people have both a dog and a cat, so 5 out of 14 is 0.36. Then we're going to add these up. So we got 5 before, so 5 people do not own a dog, and that's out of 14 again to get 0.35. 9 people own a dog, so that's 9 out of 14 to get 0.64. 6 people do not own a cat, so that's 6 out of 14. Equals 0.43. 8 people own a cat out of 14, so that equals 0.57. And then the total is 14 out of 14, so it's 1. Okay? So we're going to make sure that these add up right. So this should add up together. So 0.14 plus 0.21 equals 0.35. Woo, got that. And then 0.29 plus 0.36 should equal 0.64, but it's a little bit off. So we're going to fudge it a little bit to make it 0.65. So, and we're just going to do that so that everything adds up to 1. Because if we don't do that, then it's not going to add up to 1. And it's just not going to look right. And so sometimes when you're making these and they don't add up all right, you can like change one number just a little bit just to make it consistent. It's not really cheating, it's just making it consistent. So sometimes that happens. So instead of 0.64, I made it 0.65. But no big deal. Okay. And then 0.43 plus 0.57 should equal 1. That's right. Okay, so we did the rows, now let's do the columns. 0.14 plus 0.29 equals 0.43. 0.21 plus 0.36 equals 0.57. And then 0.35 plus 0.65 equals 1. And so it all adds up. On this slide, we're going to talk about a percentage contingency table. So here's our data again, and here's the bare bones of our contingency table. Remember, a percentage is out of 100% instead of 1, which is for a proportion. And you can take the proportion and move the decimal place over to the right twice to get the percentage. So say you had 0.14 before, now we have 14%. So you had 0.21 before, now you have 21%, and so on. So that's for all of them. Now I'm going to talk about an APA style contingency table. Here's what one would look like. And it's the same data we were using before. And you should notice a couple things about it. Well, first, it's not orange. Looks a little bit more boring, but it's okay. So first, there's no vertical lines, few horizontal lines. It's in Times New Roman font, and the title is italicized. Remember, you can also do this with scale variables, but you might need to group the scale variables first. And that ends this video.